Checking in on your weather right now. Well, what are we seeing out there? Chilly temperatures. So in case you are heading out the door, potentially even standing in line to vote, you're going to want to bundle up. It's in the lower 60s already in Mobile, mid 60s in Pensacola. We're still seeing some of those winds out there, but clear skies to go around, and that's going to contribute to our temperatures dropping even more, along with those northerly winds that we're seeing. So waking up tomorrow morning, another cold start to the day. Inland spots dropping down into the mid to upper 30s in a lot of places. Mobile going to be seeing lows tonight in the lower 40s. Coastal spots going to be seeing the 50s. So again, this is going to be another cold night ahead of us. So make sure you have that blanket, make sure you're bundling up, and also may want to go ahead and turn on the heat. Just make sure that you are being safe if you do have any space heaters. But let's focus on other places. Check out this video right now and what we were seeing further to our south with Hurricane Eta. So there you go. This is the eye wall in Puerto Cabeza. So that's Nicaragua right as Eta was making that landfall. This is a scene inside a Category 4 eye wall. You can really see those winds blowing everything around. An intense sight to see in a very vulnerable place. Now, what we're seeing right now with Eta, those sustained winds, 140 miles per hour, so still a Category 4, but that last advisory was about 2.5 hours ago. We will have another one come in at 9 p.m. would most likely be significantly weaker then. You can already start to see it losing a bit of that structure that it did have, but slowly trekking along west at 5 miles per hour. We can relate to those speeds a little bit faster than what Sally was, but still incredibly slow moving at this time for that area. Now, checking in on the track for this. Zooming out just a little bit further, this is expected to move slowly over Central America, and then it's going to hook back near Belize, back into the Caribbean, and then head back up towards Cuba. Now, this is an important thing to remember, that right now it does have that track taking it up towards the Key West and Miami, but that cone is still very large and very far out. Checking in on the timing, it's not supposed to re-emerge into the Caribbean by the weekend. That's when we're going to start to see it head back out into that extremely warm water. Expected to pick up that tropical storm strength once again, and then with that cone so wide and so far out that by Sunday we could potentially see the remnants or that new tropical storm Eta back up towards Florida. But let's go ahead and check in on the models right now. Well, a lot are in agreement of that curvature and heading through Cuba. But then from there, that's where they start to spread out just a little bit, and they're not really seeing a lot of that agreement. This is where we need to be keeping close eye on the system, as some of them do have it heading into the Gulf, some of them have it riding up Florida, and some of them had it moving out into the Atlantic. So we'll continue to keep you updated on Eta and that track, but we'll have much better certainty on it as we approach closer towards the weekend. But again, as Hurricane Eta slams the Central America, it seems like this tropical season just won't end. I feel that. Meteorologist Matt Barentine breaks down the records and shows you a number to quantify this crazy season.
Well, we know we've had a very busy season this year. We've been through all the names. We're in extra innings here on the Greek alphabet. 28 named storms. We are ahead of the pace from 2005. We've already tied up 2005 for the number of named storms. But we're behind in hurricanes and major hurricanes this year. So how can you compare the power of these two seasons with some slightly different numbers? Well, we have another number. It's called ACE. Let me take you to school a little bit. This is accumulated cyclone energy. It has a formula. It looks like this: a 6-hour maximum wind in knots squared divided by 10,000. Sounds complicated, but it really does give us a simple number. And here's how that works. Imagine if you had a 140 mile per hour Category 4 storm. Square that with 120 knots is what that is. Square it, divide it by 10,000, it gives you this number, 1.44. And you do that every 6 hours. So the stronger a hurricane is, the longer it's around, the bigger that number will eventually accumulate. And you can accumulate this through an entire season. 2020 wouldn't even make the top 10 at this point. 142 is the ACE so far. 2005 was the second highest ever on ACE. 1933 was the highest. 250. We're not going to come anywhere close to that. And just something that's interesting, the highest storm with ACE ever, you know it, it was Hurricane Ivan. Not only was it a strong storm, but it was around for 23 days, building this ACE number all the way up to over 70, half of what we've seen in 2020 with just that one storm. So I hope you learned a little something. This is how we calculate the power of a hurricane season. In Mobile, Matt Barentine, Fox 10 News.